folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to Guitar Daily. For those who are regular subscribers and engage with all of this, thank you very much. And to those that are new here, welcome. So that was a little bit of sort of affirmation, George Benson type thing. I tried not to play the melody too much, kind of get around the whole copyright thing that happens here, which sucks because obviously I'm using this about teaching. I should be able to play along to a track, but clearly I can't, or I'll get a copyright notice or whatever. So that was me kind of disguising it a little bit, but hopefully you recognize that that was affirmation with a whole bunch of soloing over it. It's an interesting track. I've been playing that one a long time. It's a little bit smooth jazz for me, but I still like it. You know, I'm not a huge smooth jazz fan, but I love George Benson's playing, especially young George Benson cookbook. Killer. Anyway, today what I thought I'd talk about is the George Benson Octaves. Anyone who knows George Benson's playing will know that a big influence of his was Wes Montgomery, right? And the way Wes Montgomery does octaves is quite different the way than George Benson does octaves. So Wes would play like straight up octaves like this. Right? And sometimes really fast and all kinds of cool stuff. Whereas what George Benson does is a little bit different, right? So say I'll take the tune like Gimme the Night. So you have the octaves here of F, right? And what George would do is put the fifth in there as well. So it'd be root, fifth, root. So like the classic example, Gimme the Night. And of course he never just like exclusively does it, but that's one that he uses. I've noticed too that sometimes he'll put the fourth in there instead, so it'll be this, right? If that makes more sense with the chord. If it's an F minor chord, he's less likely to put the B flat in and more likely to put the A flat in. And that's a pretty cool sound. But like anything, you know, use it as a spice. So if you have some blues-ish licks, some bebop type vocabulary, George Benson octaves on an arch-top guitar, you're going to have somewhat of a George Benson sound. Nobody sounds like George Benson. I've heard people say, oh, that person sounds exactly like George Benson. Bull. No, they don't. Nobody sounds like George Benson except for George Benson. Just sure, maybe people take influence, right? I've heard people that sound like they're influenced by Benson. You know, they'll do all the tricks. But nobody really sounds like him, right? But that's one thing you can do. Like I said, play some bluesy type stuff, play some bebop vocabulary, play some octaves with the fifth. So this, and you're going to have an influence, right? So to me, there's two main voicings I hear him use. This one, right, and then the next set of strings. So that would be like a C, C, G, C of some sort, and this one would be F, C, F. I don't tend to hear him do it on the lower strings, like he won't go. It's too power chord like. And of course he slides into them all the time. I found when he tends to go to the lower ones, he tends to just resolve to the octaves. Because he does use octaves. I mean, he doesn't just exclusively do this thing with the fifth in there as well. I think I got this from just checking him out a lot. But then there's, of course, a really great resource in that video series he did, The Art of Jazz Guitar, where he's sitting by the fireplace behind him, you know, sort of simmering back, and he's got the acoustic guitar, and he's talking about this sort of stuff. But yeah, that's something I hear. That's something I hear George Benson doing a lot, as how he plays octaves. So most of the time the fifth in there as well, but also the fourth. Give it a try. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or any comments. If there's something you can add to this conversation, then please do. Leave it in the comments below. I mean, my whole goal of this channel is to have it more like a community where, you know, I'm presenting stuff every day, as I do on this channel, but people are contributing in and giving their kind of 2 cents worth, and we all learn from it. I've seen some brilliant comments and some absolute crap ones as well. But generally, I'd say 99% of the comments are really, really good and really useful. So please do, if you've got a comment or something you think you can contribute to this, or any links to stuff where you think, this would be a good thing for people to check out in terms of, in relation to this whole George Benson octave thing, then share it below. And of course, share these videos with anybody you think that are into the same sorts of things. That's super useful too, because it helps me spread it, and we can build the community bigger and have more people involved, and that's all good if you ask me. So thanks so much. As I said, my name's Nick Granville. I'm a guitar player from Wellington, New Zealand, professional musician. This is all I do. Session musician. I do a lot of session work. I do a lot of theatre shows, tours, some touring, and I teach a little bit, so I do private lessons, so hit me up if you're interested in something like that. Zoom, Skype, all that kind of stuff works well. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much. Cheers.